While I welcome the positive strides of the bill, I know many of my colleagues like me will see it as something to make sure that we build on. And I want to touch briefly upon a few crucial areas I hope we can explore further in the future. The first is around data. As it stands, the government does not capture sufficient data to give us a clear picture of the deaf community. Current statistics capture people based on terms such as difficulty in hearing and hearing impairment. The use of impairment is itself unhelpful and outdated and may impact negatively on how BSL users respond. In short, the government does not really know how many deaf people use BSL. And this is concerning given that it uses this data as its evidence base for making decisions about how to support BSL users. A group of people that face some of the biggest barriers in society, whether in employment, education, health, well-being or other areas. The second area I wish to focus on is the Non-Statutory Board of British Sign Language Users and associated persons that will advise the Secretary of State. While I warmly welcome this commitment to consult deaf people, we must ask why the body advising on such an important issue is a non-statutory board. Does this mean ministers do not have to listen or act upon its recommendations? Ministers also need to be clear on how the body will be recruited to. It is my sincere hope and indeed expectation that the body should be made up predominantly of disabled people and disabled people's organisations. And I cannot stress this enough, as other members have said. The experts by experience must have a clear line to the Secretary of State. It is also vital that this body is fully transparent and that it communicates clearly with the deaf community. So I ask, will the minutes and recommendations of the body be made public? And whilst we should all welcome this move in principle, as always, the devil will be in the detail. Finally, I hope to see improvements in strengthening the interaction a future BSL Act will have with other legislation and government strategies. Honourable members will know the government's national disability strategy was recently found to be unlawful by the High Court as a consultation process failed to engage correctly. And sadly, the government does have a poor record when it comes to doing the right thing by disabled people, and it would be remiss of us not to consider strengthening bills with adequate checks and balances. So when reading the draft bill, I did note with concern a subsection of Clause 1 which states, subsection 1 does not affect the operation of any enactment or rule of law. Now, trust in this government is low with disabled people, and I don't think that provisions like this will fill the deaf community with hope. Future improvements must strengthen the Act and give it more power. So, in conclusion, I will end once again by congratulating my friend, the Honourable Member for West Lancashire, and the BSL Act Now campaign on the progression of the bill. The bill is a good start, but I hope you will agree that we can and should go a lot further in the future.